Hello and welcome to this gameplay guide for Astroneer. Now this specific video we're going to be covering the gun mods. So we're specifically talking about the alignment mod, the wide mod, narrow mod and the boost mod. In addition to that we'll also be looking at the find them quickly, must be that one, the inhibitor and the terrain analyzer. Now what we'll do is we've got all the materials on our back, and as that storm's coming, let's dive down this hole where we will be protected. Okay, looks like there's a cave just here. Let's dive out. Right, and let's see what these things do. You know, we've got an air supply so we can take our time. Okay, so first up let's go for the terrain analyzer. Using one block of aluminium, the terrain analyzer, and as you can see, once it's on your gun, it's got that green ring around it, meaning it's active. Right, so let's see what it does. Now, from what I understand, okay, that's still digging, that's still doing that, and that's still level. So what does the terrain analyzer actually do, if anything? How the hell do you use it? So it's on. So let's open this up. So augment for the gun, but what does it actually do? Let's see if we have to fill it up with anything. So yeah, it's filling up with brown, because that's the colour of the rock I'm doing. Oh, it's using power as well. Okay, so if I then go and is that doing anything? It doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, does it? I'm not exactly... Oh, I'm out of power. Let's go connect to the tether and then we get power from the tether. That's weird. I don't get it. I don't understand. Oak builds. Doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. It's still connected, definitely doing something. But what? Oh, there you go. That is literally just colouring. So you starting off on here, so it's brown. Press Control, and then you spread over, and it starts painting the surfaces that it levels off as brown. I think that's just what it seemed to do. So that's a bit naff. Bit pointless. So let's get rid of the terrain analyzer and move on to the next one, the inhibitor. So, sorry about the dogs. Inhibitor mod on. Okay, so what does the inhibitor mod do? Ah, now that could be useful, because that's just taking off all of the rocks. Look, it's yeah, that's definitely got a place there for just getting rid of the loose debris without actually digging. Oh, it's hoovering up resources as well. Look. Surface resources, but it's getting rid of those rocks. all of that kind of thing. Does it get rid of the plants as well? Useful for smoothing out the landscape of those things, because let's face it, it's one of my favourite bugbears in this game. But yeah, that I can see being useful in various ways for clearing the terrain. Yeah, I like that. I think that's useful. I think that has a purpose. The terrain analyzer doesn't seem to. Okay, so let's get rid of these rocks as well. So, yeah, let's clear it out, mate. Yeah, that's what I like, a nice smooth cavern. None of these stalagmites sticking out all over the place. It just looks untidy. And again, as it's a mod, it uses power, so make sure you connect it to a tether if you need it, or it will just, if you've got picked up some power, it will, bit of luck, put that in the right place. We take. That's not complete yet. Right, so yeah, the inhibitor mod, that I like. I think that's worth it. Let's bung that down. And the next mod is the wide mod. Okay, so the wide mod. Now I'm expecting this to just increase. Yeah, that's a lot bigger than it. So I think that all that does is extend the size of your digging area, which is kind of expected. So let's give it a whirl. Let's see what it does. Right, so that was some holes that I dug originally. And as you can see, it is having a much bigger area. Useful for digging tunnels, I think. If you're going to sort of like start off, one of the things that I love to do is, as you can see, is just dive down, and having one of those might be useful because it gives you more room to get in and out of the underground places. But again, unnecessary, not particularly useful. So next mod, just get that off the gun, the wide mods. Now you could combine that and the inhibitor mod, cover a wider area quicker. So the wide mods, the narrow mod, have a guess what that does. And there are no prizes for that. So we now have the narrow mod. What happens if you have the narrow and the wide mod? Do you just end up with the same circle? Right, so yeah, it's a more focused beam. Once again, that's expected, so why you would want that, I've no particular idea. Yeah, nothing's particularly special. As expected, it narrows the beam of your weapon or soil modification, terrain modification tool. Not particularly useful. So after that we have the boost mod, for which we need resin, which is on the top there. And there we go. Not sure what this does. Put the boost mod on. Bong. Okay, so let's get some power up and see what this bad boy does, if anything at all. So your gun is basically a terrain altering tool. Right, let's have a look. The boost mod, does it just work faster? Oh, no power. No surprises there. Yeah, not feeling the love for the boost mods. Not entirely sure that's particularly useful at all. So far, the only one that I've found that's any good is the inhibitor mod. So, let's get rid of that. I don't think that's particularly useful, and I can't see what that does. And it obviously uses power when you're just using the tool normally. So, but I don't quite know whether that's the case, but it works. Gets more soil quicker. Don't know. Don't think it's worth it. The alignment mod. Now, I actually had an alignment mod before, and I think it's rubbish. or at least it doesn't really do anything useful. So the way the alignment mod works is you're flattening out the soil. As you can see, it gives you like a grid, and then if you go too far away, it actually starts creating walls around you. So close up, flattens out, further away, creates a wall. So we'll demonstrate that, we'll do that up there. So normally you just do that, but it's a wall all around. So I suppose it could be useful, but then close up, as the usual. There you go. But obviously it uses power, and having power is common paramount. Like I say, useful if you like a tidy area of a base, or you're underground and you think that's useful. Kind of useful maybe, but not fantastically so. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tools. As far as I can see, the only two tools that are of any use amongst any of those are the inhibitor mods, which clears the ground of the stalagmites and the rocks, which is useful for your terrain and getting your vehicle around if you get stuck. That's useful, and it hoovers up those surface resources as well, so useful for the organic materials that you find on the exotic planet, on the Terran planet, which you will do. I don't think there's any on the tundra or the arid, but I think there is on the radioactive. But yeah, so I think out of all the tools, those are the two that are the most useful. I mean, I don't particularly care about colouring the land with the terrain mod. Now, that would have been more useful if you could set it to something. So rather than just doing anything like that. So let's get my gun out, because you can attach two. Let's go. Which one are you using? So the terrain analyzer. Let's smooth that out. Ah, yeah, of course I'm using that mod. Smooth the terrain out a bit. Love a bit of smooth terrain. And then perhaps if you're sort of colouring, it's just colours, doesn't it? It's rubbish. Yeah, I really don't find that mod useful at all. So yeah, the only one I think that's really any use, the only two that are any use, are the inhibitor mods and the alignment tool. I think probably those are the things that you're going to be using the most, and to be honest, you don't need them. You just do not need them. I think the inhibitor's by far the most useful. Anyway, that rounds off the different modifications you can have for your terrain enhancing gun. And that concludes this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative. If you have, then please subscribe. We have a subscription button, as every channel does, underneath our video. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. You can follow us on Facebook at find us as Savvy Gadgetz, or you can follow us on Twitter as @SavvyGadgetz. So until the next video, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. Okay, so as an appendum to this video, I just wanted to try out the inhibitor mod a little bit more. I was a little bit intrigued on how useful it was. Now, these plants up here, the ones that throw gas at you, I wonder if it'll uproot them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. Has it got rid of those ones? What about these surface ores? Yeah, it's getting rid of the surface ores. Hey, Malachite, there we go. But it's not uprooting those plants, so not useful for that. Oh, there's a few of them around. So for that, so it is literally just for clearing these rocks off, which is useful still. But I would have liked to have seen it uproot those plants as well, so you could just run around the cavern and just sort them out like that. But yeah, still a little bit US. Anyway, thank you, and I hope that was a little bit more informative for you. Subscribe, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We'd love to see you comment, tweet. If there's any games you want us to do, then please, get in touch, and we'll do them. Thank you very much. Bye bye.